morning and welcome to our November Writers Workshop. Now, we begin each workshop with a 10-minute quick training. And a 10 in 10 is just that. A 10 in 10 is 10 points that you'll get on whatever the training is. This week's is thanks outline, but that's not all. You'll have 10 minutes of 10 different points of what that means. Well, let's get started. The first, number one important part about understanding an outline and what all about it is understanding why an outline is important. When you're writing a book or any kind of writing project, maybe it's emails, maybe it's something social media for your job, maybe it's a funnel. I know someone in the room who's going through a funnel right now. The why is the most important part of it. This gives you a blueprint for your narrative. It gives you an importance, a sense of importance when you're writing. The second thing to know is an outline helps you organize your thoughts. So it allows you to see the big picture of what it is you're creating. If it's a novel, maybe it's a romance novel. There's about 9 chapters in a romance novel, and they each have to hit specific elements within those chapters. Maybe it's a memoir. Maybe, again, it's a funnel. And you're trying to figure out, oh gosh, what do I write next? The outlines are so helpful for that. It also, number 3, maintains focus and direction. When you have an outline, you always know where to go, even if you're not quite certain how to get there. You at least have a goal in mind, and it's waiting for you. Now, I used to be opposed to outlines. I hated outlines. I never did outlines. And then when I first started writing professionally and getting paid to write, I had a lady who hired me to literally write her romance novel outlines. About 3,000 words, 2,000 to 3,000 words, and each specific element had to be hit. And that taught me, oh, well, let me ask you all this. How many of you have in your drawers or your bags or your notebooks at least 3 unfinished starts to a novel or a story or the copywriting you're supposed to be doing? Just 3, maybe up to 3. Anybody? Okay, I see some hands up. How many of you have,
I get the camera to move.
how many of you have 50? Right? So that outline can actually spur and excite you in the middle of, oh, I put this away. Oh, I put that one away. Just pull one out, whip out an outline, voila. See if it doesn't take root. All right. Now that you know why, do this. I'm going to give you 4 things to do. First of all, start writing, right? Begin with whatever chapter or section or even thought that spurs you, that inspires you, that gives you passion. So if you have a scene in mind, write it. If you have just a sentence in mind, write it. A sunset, write it. Just write anything. That's the first step. The second one is to maintain consistency with your outline. Take a look at your outline every now and then while you're writing. Now, you don't have to stick to it. Please know that it's flexible and it's there to guide you, not rule you. So you can toss it anytime, you can change it anytime. If you're not looking at it, then you can't do any of those things. You're just ignoring it. So make sure you kind of look back at it every now and then. Also, number 6, set writing goals. Now, this club meets once a month. Maybe that's good for you. That's all you can dedicate to writing right now. Great. then come once a month and don't miss for anything. Maybe you can set up a goal. Maybe it's once a week. Maybe it's daily. Whatever your goal is, first of all, set it. Second of all, don't even worry if you mess it up and don't hit it. I mean, at least come once a month and write once a month. But anything in between that, you know, unless you have a publisher who's giving you a deadline, you have to give yourself permission to soar and to fail in writing. Number 7, seek feedback. Find somebody or a group of somebodies who you trust enough to share your work with. Authors who miss out on feedback and groups, for one thing, it's lonely. Being an author can be extremely lonely, and some of us enjoy that. I mean, as outward as I am, I also love my alone writing time. Leave me alone. I'm just going to get up at 4 a.m. because that's the only time I can get the silence. Like, I get that. At some point, though, your words need love. They need an extra hug. It's like if you have a baby and you're the only one who ever holds that baby, well, it's missing out on grandma's love or grandpa's love or uncle. So give your words that same love and attention. All right. Now, the last 3 points are for those of us who have ever gotten stuck. Anybody ever get writer's block? Yeah. Okay. So those of you who know that I'm a Toastmaster, I'm breaking into my Toastmaster persona here. Those of you who know that you're a Toastmaster or know that I'm a Toastmaster, you know that I don't get nervous giving speeches. And I know a lot of you want to throw tomatoes at me for saying that and admitting it. Here's the thing. I also don't get writer's block. All right, ducked that one. But I did when I was 6. I got writer's block. And I learned how to fix it. Now, when you're stuck, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do. I'm not going to tell you mine until the very last. But the first thing you're going to do is write anything. I don't know what to write. Okay, write that. I don't know what to write. This feels stupid. I feel stupid. Maybe I'm not so stupid. Wait a minute. I did think I wanted to write about a scene where she climbs the hill and picks a flower, but that sounds stupid. I mean, really, if you're writing, then write. Okay? Just write anything. Sometimes that will just, the act of writing will unstick it. If that doesn't work, go for what I call a note walk. Okay, now you don't actually have to carry your notebook with you. Go for a walk. If you want to carry it, you can. If you don't. But look around. I live in Pacific Grove, and on Laurel, we have the cutest house ever. I mean, this house is so cute. It's like a little Adobe type style house, and it has this window. And like, if I'm the house, the window comes out like this. All right. And it looks like a balcony, but it's a window. It's a balcony on a window. So it is literally this big. It's like as big as up to my nose. It's just the cutest thing. I grew up looking at that balcony and imagining that there were fairies or miniature people or something in that house. When you walk around out in nature, out in the neighborhood, things will come to you. Maybe they'll apply to your story. So take a look around next time you get stuck. Go for that walk and just jot down in your mind or on a notepad little things that might relate in the tiniest way. A leaf falls. Oh, it's going to be fall in my show, in my show. Yes, she's already got her movie deal. It's going to be fall. I want to write how the leaves are falling. Anything can inspire you. My last tip, and you're not going to believe it, and you probably will say, no, what? Doodle. I was not much of an artist as a kid. I was okay, I mean, whatever. But I learned that when I started doodling, it unlocked my imagination. And the day I started doodling, when I was told to write a story in first grade, that was the day I never got writer's block again. Start doodling. So you have, oh my gosh, you have 10 wonderful ways to get your outline going and to get started writing. Well, grab out your paper, start writing. We'll talk at the end of this session. And if you have any questions, just come up quietly and let me know. Thank you. Have a great day. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.